What's up, pretty gang? It's Peaches. I'm back with another video to this channel, but it is the first nail video that I have recorded for this channel, so I'm super excited. I hope you guys enjoy this. This set is a set that I really love. You guys saw the colors that I use. They are all not polished colors. The set basically centers around this nail I'm doing right here. It is a purple and pink, I don't even want to say marble because this is not what I would consider marble because I'm just laying the colors however they fall. But a purple and pink gold foil nail, okay? Baby girl is a first-time client, and this is what she decided to pop out with. You know, we had 4 airbrush design nails. We had 2 bright nails. We had some marble nails and some nail piercings. Here for it, period. I do want to let you guys know this video is in real time. It is only showing the application of one hand, but you guys will see clips of obviously the finished product, but also of filing. Like, I'm not going to show myself filing because I really didn't have time and I didn't have enough space in my phone, but you guys will see what my filed nails looks like basically. So, what, I'm about choked on my spit. So basically, I'm just taking these 3 colors for this particular nail, making a little, you know, really just letting the colors fall, adding the bright pink just to, you know, pop out with something or whatever. And then we're going to cap it, obviously, or I am, you know, I'm going to cap it. Now, I do want to point out that because this is just application, you can see that other hand in the background, the one that's not doing anything, the one that she's being a good client and just leaving it on the table for me to look at basically. That hand has not been filed, has not been buffed, nothing. That is pure application, okay? And it has taken a minute. Well, I don't want to say like a minute as in like, oh, it's taken like so many years for my application to do this, get like this, because I've only been doing nails for like about 1.5 years on clients, you know. So, but I will say, taking your time makes a difference. Practicing makes a difference, okay? You have to strive to want your application to be good. It's like every so often you get these little like aha moments of like, ooh, I wonder if I did like this. I wonder if I did this. Like, you can watch a million YouTube videos and try to do it like somebody else, which may actually help some people. But until you put that watching someone else into reality and actually doing it for yourself, then you will never know how good your application can get. You know, some people depend on like, okay, well, I can apply it, you know, semi-neat, or I can apply it how I can apply it, but I know how to fix it with shaping, which is completely fine. That is totally fine. Some people are cool with laying their acrylic super fast. No matter the outcome, they know how to fix it afterwards to make it look fire. Me personally, I want the whole process to look fire. I like when, y'all, if you can hear the dog, I'm so sorry. I don't have headphones to do this voiceover. So whatever y'all hear, I'm sorry. Y'all just gonna have to hear it and bear with me, okay? But basically, I like to take my time with my application because I like my shape to damn near be perfect, because my filing routine only take about 5 minutes. At this point in time, I'll give it even a 7 minutes just in case something didn't go as planned. And that's with filing, sealing the cuticles and filing the shape, okay? So, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm talking a lot. I am so sorry. But yeah, it's also kind of like early in the morning. It's 9 a.m. and she was not even my first client. So yeah. So a tip with gold foil or gold flakes, I always put them down and then I put a little tiny bit of clear on top of the flakes, so that way when you go to cap the nail, they don't just get all over the place. Because y'all, Princess is acting up. I am so sorry. She's just noisy as hell. So, what was I saying? She didn't make me lose my train of thought. Basically, when you're capping the nail with gold foil or flakes, whatever, when you put a thin layer of clear just on top of the flakes, it keeps them from moving around. Because if, from experience, I used to just try and like, oh, let me just cap them right quick. They will move out of place. Unless you're a person that puts them like on top of very wet acrylic already. I don't, because all you need is monomer and the gold flakes will stick to literally anything. So yeah, you can see I take my time. I look from all angles. I like my structure to be done. Like, I don't want to have to go back and mess with it no more after. I don't want to have to know. I want the nail to look as perfect as can be, or as close to near. Y'all, did it go to the other dog? I'm so sorry. This is so ghetto. I'm so sorry. This is just not cute. It was quiet this whole entire time. It was quiet this whole entire time until I needed to do a voiceover. Y'all, on my very first nail video of this channel. Okay, wow, okay. So, you guys can see that I'm pushing the acrylic into the cuticle area where the eponychium is, okay? Which is the skin that surrounds your, you know, obviously, y'all can, well, okay. Y'all see what I'm talking about. The cuticle area, okay? And don't flood. I will probably do a video on what flooding can look like, because I think some people think that, hey, if it's touching the cuticles, it's fine. But I see a lot of times like, no, it's being flooded, but you don't realize it because you're thinking, okay, it's right up against the cuticle. It's not on the skin. But flooding is so much more than just the skin, and you will find that your nails are just gonna pop off. To be quite honest, okay. So yeah, I really take my time, especially with encapsulated nails, because I like to lay whatever is being encapsulated. I like to lay that as flat as possible. Like, even if it's a marble nail, I will lay the marble nail so that there's like basically no bumps, no lumps, no bumps in every application, because that's more work later. You feel me? So also you can see I'm going in and filling in any possible like little pothole areas or anything. And I take slightly wetter beads for that. It's not super wet, but you can see my brush is wet. I'm dipping my brush just a little bit, just because if any areas need to be moved around, you cannot move drying acrylic with a completely dry brush, because first of all, it's just going to stick into your brush. Like, you know, you need a little slickness so that way you can maneuver it how you need to. So when you're capping the nail, some people can do it in one cap. I can sometimes. I just don't prefer to, especially because her fingers are kind of smaller, her nail sizes are kind of smaller. So I just however many beads it takes it's like, for me, it's for person to person. I do everything person to person, finger to finger, because sometimes capping with just one bead, it doesn't exactly look good on everybody, if that makes sense. Like, just the look of it probably doesn't make sense to y'all, but I don't know. So this one, I guess, would be considered the marble nail. A lot of people come to me for my marbling. This nail, I did not marble like how I traditionally marble, just because a lot of the colors were so different. I needed to make sure that I could blend them all together without them looking toe up, if you know what I mean. Because technically, some people are going to see those colors that I showed you guys in the beginning and be like, oh, those colors don't go at all. But I can always find a way to make it work. I'm the one who chose them. I feel like I could see things within colors that a lot of people don't think would go together, but they end up working out fine, you know? So I worked very wet, like wetter than I normally would when I marble, just so I can ensure that these colors will blend extra, you know? And you guys can see, like, even with my marbling, I like to keep the nail to the shape. I don't like no funny business. I like to keep all the colors in place. I like to make sure everything is in place as the same way as I was doing a basic nail if I was capping a nail. Like, I like the shape to maintain looking as good as possible. So that's just my personal preference. This is my application, you know. So I hope this helps anybody who has been having trouble with their application to see that you don't need to apply everything so quickly and move fast. Like, yes, it's good to do a set in an hour and a half. It's good to do a set in an hour, I guess, even, you know, when it comes to certain basic sets or certain lengths of nails. But there's nothing wrong with taking 2 to 3 hours on a set. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Okay? There's really nothing wrong with it. You do not feel like you have to be rushing all the time. Go, go, go. I mean, unless you're being pressed for time. then you need to make up for it and just do what you got to do. But typically, I'm enjoying my appointment with my client. My client is enjoying their time with me. I really bond with my clients during appointment time. So if you take a while, just book accordingly. You know, put decent space between people and you'll be fine. So now I'm about to do some capping again, and you can see that I personally like to start mid nail, like right close to where the natural nail would start or where the tip in the nail would meet, just because I feel like it's like reinforced strength basically. But you can see I like to keep the shape. That's just my preference. It makes everything so much easier when you're able to do this. And it will take time and practice. And to get the best results and outcome, you will need to practice shaping your tips to get a very nice pre-shape. It don't have to be perfect, but it needs to be good enough so that way when you're keeping a shape, you're keeping a shape that's already nice. You see, I be all up in them people's hands. You see how close to the camera I got? I be in their hands, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. I be looking close. I be looking far, near, here, there, like all around town, okay? And there goes another cuticle bead. Now, nails this length for someone who has small fingers or fingers on the smaller side, they don't need a large apex or anything, but I prefer the nails to look a certain way, basically, like, just for my preference. So I do not prefer a super flat looking nail or anything like that. I like strength to my nail. You can also notice the nail tips I use. Y'all, I don't go out of my way to buy curved nail tips. I do like a curve. A lot of people come to me for that, but these are standard nail tips. They are not special nail tips or anything. These are the nail tips that if you used to go to the shop, you grew up going to the shop, you go to the nail supply, you get you 89-cent tips, 50-cent tips. These are them. It ain't nothing special about these tips. Okay, you don't need to go on Amazon to buy them or anything like that. Like, these are just standard tips. So I just wanted to point that out. The structure for, I guess, a standard or curved tip may be a little bit different than a straight tip, because I think a lot of people it's already flat. So, you know, just like, oh, let me just put enough acrylic to make sure that the tip is not bendy or whatever. So, I'm not really sure as far as that goes, but for these type of nails, curved or regular, you need a little bit of structure, okay? So I've sped it up with these two basic nails because, first of all, I didn't realize this one was so out of frame. And it's pretty much the same as when I cap. In a way, like, you could see or I should say where I start applying the acrylic and how I drag it down. Now, the second bead, I usually do just try and put it right on top and then start pushing it into the cuticle area and dragging down any excess. You can see there's no flooding or anything, you guys. You can see how I'm holding the fingers, how I'm holding the hand, so that way the acrylic, it just do what it do. I place how I place, and I just make the nail look how I like, basically. So, just figure out what type of apex you like, what type of nail. I don't want to say nail structure, because it got to be as structured as it needs to be. But some people like a very thin tip with a very pronounced apex. Some people just like different things. So you can see here my first bead, I knew it wasn't going to be enough to do what I like to do. So I just go ahead and lay it a little bit down and let it set before I kind of do a drag and drop or a drag and pull, whatever you want to call it. And, just be gentle with it. Keep your brush. You see how I keep my brush just like a little bit wet? It's because as you let it set, or as I let it set initially, sometimes it sets to a point where it's not dry or even close to being super dry, but you just need to kind of keep it activated, keep it just slick enough so that way you can drag if you need to keep dragging it down, but also dry enough so when I push up against the sides, it will keep the shape. You see what I mean? So it's very if you guys want to see, or I guess if anybody, because as of right now, I don't know how many people are going to watch this, but if anybody wants to see like an application video as far as like figuring out what type of monomer to polymer or powder ratio that you would like, I could do a video on that, because people work all different ways, and I could just show you the way I like to work with my consistency. So, you know, just keep going. There's the next bead. I'm just pushing up what I want, and when it gets up there to that point, you see, I take my brush and I'm going around the cuticle area, and I'm just literally, it's kind of locking it into place. I'm tapping around to make sure everything is where it needs to be, and also that nothing is flooded. So I'm like tapping into the crevices, basically, if that's the best way to explain it. I'm tapping into the crevices so I can see. You see, and I'm a person, I pull the skin back by the knuckle a little bit so that I could see better, because sometimes it'll be there. It can be deep near the cuticle area, the eponychium, whatever, and it still won't flood because of where it stopped, and you could just kind of tap in, period, to lock it in or whatever. Yeah, like I said, I can just do a really more in-depth video on application, especially in the cuticle area over time, you know. But yeah, after this is just the brighter nail. On this hand, I did the lime green. On the other hand, we decided to do the teal, just to further tie in those two colors together that were in the marble nail, so that everything fits together. I'll probably do a design video for you guys. I do so many freestyles. Most of my clients that come to me, they ask for my opinion, or they'll show me a picture. I'll ask, what about this do you like? They'll show me, usually it's like a specific nail or specific concept, and then I'll go ahead and like choose the colors and decide how everything's executed, pretty much. So it's like, even if they do bring a picture, they said still be custom, because it don't ever look like the picture. Does that make sense? I will let you guys enjoy this thumb video in silence, since I've been talking damn near for 18 minutes straight. And I will be back when this thumbnail is done. Okay, guys, so this is the application of both hands. I think I'm about to show you from another direction. Yes, I am. This is what it looks like when I'm done with application only. It looks pretty good to me. Let me know what you guys think. Now, this is after shaping and filing, buffing, I think washing hands and stuff too. And yeah, here are the final results of the set. Got all different type of designs. Yeah, I hope ooh, I just choked. I'm sorry. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.